Hey everybody, and welcome back to another one of Mudflap's movie reviews. My name is Mudflap, and today I will be reviewing Season 1, Episode 1 of the web series Video Game High School. Let's get started. So, Video Game High School was a web series that ran for 2 years from 2012 to 2014. Video Game High School was created by the company Rocket Jump Studios. This episode is directed by Matthew Arnold, Brandon Latch, and Freddie Wong. So the main premise of this show is it follows the character Brian D, who is a gamer, and through a whole bunch of luck ends up going to this prestigious school known as Video Game High School, where you train with the best. You go to classes to learn how to become the best shooter, how to have the best strategies. This first episode was super short. That's one thing I didn't expect from this show, was it was only a 10-minute episode. They packed a lot of stuff into this episode that gave you just a good introduction into who Brian D is. First impressions of Brian D when I first saw him, super nerdy guy. He didn't seem to have a lot of friends. Lives at his house with his mom. Really into the video game scene. And surprisingly, he's actually really good at shoot-'em-up games. So Brian D is portrayed by Josh Blaylock. Right away, watching this first episode, I was really intrigued by it. I'm not much of a video game guy. I have played shoot-'em-up games in my time. Call of Duty is kind of my go-to, even though I suck at it. Usually when I play shoot-'em-up games, I don't really know what's going on. I kind of just choose whatever weapon. On occasion, I will shoot my teammates, but that's not my fault because they forgot to turn friendly fire off. I always thought it was interesting watching other people get so into video games like this, and there is strategy in this, and there is skill to it, so I definitely don't want to knock that for people who really love video games. This show is definitely for you. If you've never heard of Video Game High School before, it is on YouTube. Just type in Video Game High School, and Rocket Jump Studio put all of their seasons on there. It ran for 3 seasons, and each season the episodes get a little longer, but the majority of the first season, the episodes were about 15 minutes long, but it gave me lots of great content to just really soak in and get into the mindset of these gamers and how serious some gamers actually take video games. And I have been around people who are really hardcore video gamers, and they get mad, they're yelling at their screen, yeah, turn around, you gotta use this gun. I just think it's super entertaining to watch. Yeah, this first episode just really gave me a good start to I'm really enjoying this show so far. I just wrapped up season 1, and they didn't really give you much to go on the first episode. It was just mainly an introduction into who Brian D is. With that, I'm just really excited to see how Brian D's character progresses, as he pretty much ended up going to Video Game High School by pure luck. I mean, he was just playing the game, and he ended up taking out someone who he had no idea was a pretty high-ranking individual for Video Game High School. Another interesting thing to point out about this show was the budget involved with this wasn't actually a whole lot. In one of the interviews, one of the creators was talking about they had a set goal that they wanted to reach, and of course they blew way past that, but most of the budget, it was reserved for the visual effects, which really good use of budget there with practical special effects. It wasn't over the top. I understand, there's limits to budgets, but it was really great visually. Lots of explosions, lots of gunfire. It's really great use of a smaller budget. It cost about $1.5 million for the first season, and then the next 2 seasons was around $3 million. I think that's a pretty good budget for something, but considering that these guys had to raise this money, they created their own studio. I mean, it's really impressive. Hats off to you guys for just making a really intriguing show. For this first episode of Video Game High School, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 Mudflaps. Definitely blew my expectations away. I'm just really excited to see what the rest of the season holds. So as always, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell, and I'll see you next time.